Okay, this is the site of the original old Salem church, and the marker says it was built around 1860, the best they can tell, and it probably burned in a fire, because there was a fire there in 1941. My great-grandpa, William Marion Padgett, preached at this church for about 20 years before he passed away. And there's some rocks here that was the cornerstone of the actual building.
You can see the footers, yeah. I can see it really good from right here.
Okay, this was the site of the old original church where my great-grandfather preached. But by the time I was born in 1945, they had the new church, and I always went to church at the new church. Also, my daddy went to school in the new church as a young boy. Church, and this is where William Marion Padgett and his wife Susan and most all their children are buried, along with everybody else that's ever died in Pickens County in the Padgett family, include myself.
There are a lot of Padgetts over there. We have another video of that where Aunt Linda's walking around and seeing all the grave sites for the Padgetts. But it's a beautiful view from the woods. And then this over here was where the original site was of the original church and school.
This is Rembert Parker, Reverend Rembert Oscar Parker, and his wife Della. And he was the son of Rhoda, the one whose husband left her in Blue Ridge, and Grandpa went and got his sister and brought her back to the Padgett farm here, and she lived her whole life, and he raised Rembert. This is their daughter Mary, who got killed in a car accident. Back there is one of their sons, Claude, and his wife, and behind them is Margaret, another daughter. That's going to be her grave. She's not deceased yet, but her husband's buried there. She married an Allen.
And then just to clarify, so this Parker was Rhoda Padgett Parker.
Son.
Rhoda Padgett Parker's son, Rembert, and they're the ones that were brought back here to the farm to be raised after her child had died.
And this is my beloved Uncle Charles. He was only 11 years older than me, and he was like a brother to me, and I loved him so much. And his wife, Wileen. They're buried there and their little baby. And this is her mother and daddy's, this side of her over here.
Wileen's parents.
And this is Alma's son that I grew up with. And you might notice the race flags.
That's right, because they were
big. And this is Alma and Paul Jones, the oldest daughter of Bill and Verdi Padgett.
And Billy and Verda Padgett are your grandparents?
Yes, my grandparents. This is hard to read, but this is Uncle Jasper Padgett and Millie Padgett Padgett's marker.
And this is the Uncle Jasper we've talked so much about.
And as you can see, this is my grandpa and grandma right here beside of him. And that's Aunt Mary Rhoda that I tell you about having a little house on the farm. That's Jasper's daughter.
This is Uncle Jasper's daughter?
Mary Rhoda.
So she was Mary Padgett Rhoda.
Yes, Mary, and her mother was a Padgett, Millie Padgett. And then this is Grandpa and Grandma's little daughter, Nora, who died. And I don't know how this one got in here, but this is Aunt Phoebe Cattrall, and she died in childbirth, and this is her little baby.
So this is the baby she delivered? Did they name the baby?
No, I don't think so. And this is Rhoda. This is the daughter of William Marion, who married the Parker, who got stranded in Blue Ridge, and Grandpa had to go get her and bring her back here. That we talked so much about, Aunt Rhoda. Okay, this is the marker of my mother and father, William Lloyd Padgett and Joel Brindle Padgett. And to the right is my little brother who got killed in an accident.
And he was a junior? That was your little brother?
Uh-huh. He was almost 10.
What kind of accident was it? Like a
He
vehicle?
was on a little moped and ran out into the road.
Oh, goodness.
And a car hit him. And this is where I will be. And this is my son Todd, Michael Todd, who got killed in a car accident.
And this spot's for you and your husband?
Mm-hmm.
That's a really pretty
And my
marker.
son's going to put some markers back here. The bone virus. This is my sister Janida. She died of liver disease. She was the other daughter. Mother and Daddy Lloyd and Joel Padgett had 3 children. I was the oldest, my sister Janida, and then my little brother. We called him Billy after Grandpa.
What a pretty name, Janida. This was your sister?
Mm-hmm. And to the right is Leonard Padgett. That's one of the sons of Bill and Berta Padgett. This is my great-grandpa, William Marion Padgett's family plot, and Uncle Annie, and Grandpa, and his wife Susan, which was my great-grandma, and and Jane, and then the baby Susan that died, are all buried here. Half of them are here and half of them are right there with Uncle Jasper.
Okay.
And this is just an interesting thing. I was always fascinated with it, and all my cousins and even my children were. The story is that a young girl died, just a really small one, and her father could not put her in the ground. So they put her on the top of the ground and put all these rocks. There's not quite as many rocks on it because at the time when I was a child, you couldn't even see down in there or anything, because we would try to peep in there and see if we could see any bones.
Yeah.
But this is one of the older grave sites in the cemetery. And this is the marker of Isaac Padgett. He was the first one that actually ever lived on Padgett Farm. His brother William bought it, but never moved here. And then Isaac bought it from him and he moved here. And that Isaac and William are the sons of Abraham and the brother of our Asa Padgett. So he goes way back. And this is his son John. And then that's John's wife, Hannah Padgett. And I would imagine, I always thought, and everybody said probably, but nobody knows for sure, that this might be Isaac's wife. She's got to be buried somewhere, and it would make sense that she's right here beside of him. But as you can see back through there, not many people could afford a marble marker, and they just used rock.
There's just a lot of rocks marking the graves. And so this is Uncle
And as
Isaac.
far as I know, this is the oldest Padgett buried in this cemetery.
Oldest Padgetts buried. And this is who bought the land originally that William Marion bought it from.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. William Marion bought it from Isaac's heirs after Uncle Isaac died. But he was the first one that lived on what we can call the Padgett farm. And he was not the original Padgett. His brother was, but he never lived here. And he's the oldest, as far as I know, he is the oldest Padgett buried at Salem Baptist Church.